Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. I am Jim Hacking. This is the 239th episode of the Immigration Answer Show. I'm coming to you live from our offices in St. Louis, Missouri. Many of you know us, know that we have offices in San Diego and Washington, D.C. as well. Happy Wednesday to everyone. Thank you, Skyla. Skyla's womaning the messages and doing the banner. Skyla always does a great job for us, so we're glad that she's here. I just want to say one thing. I'm getting a little tired of talking to people without seeing their face. So I am going back to my old policy of taking people who are on camera. And if you go off camera, as soon as I put you on, I'll probably just go on to the next caller. So this is a television show. This is not a radio call-in show. I will probably start or stop talking to people that don't have their cameras on. Thank you, Huli. Huli's congratulating us on episode number 239. We are heading hard towards 250. You might see my hair is a little bit crazy. I just got back from something cool. St. Louis is getting an MLS soccer team, football for those of you who are football fans, a soccer team starting next year. And the stadium is just about done. And I went down with my friend Tiffany to help pick out our season tickets. And I'm sort of excited about where we got our seats. So if you haven't already, go ahead and leave us a note in the comments where you're watching from. I'd love to see where people are and where they're watching from. So with that being said, I don't know, Skyla, what do you think? Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to talk to Idenide.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. And you?
Great. How can I help you? Oh, I think she hung up on herself. Well, hopefully she'll come back. Let's say hi to Denise. Denise, how you doing?
Hi, Jim. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Great. What can I help you with?
Thank you. So I'm calling because I just got married off of a K-1 visa we've been waiting almost 3 years, so it's happened.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So now I'm just kind of lost as to what type of paperwork we need to file afterwards.
Okay, perfect. Can you do me a favor first before we get to that? Can you just tell everyone real quickly which embassy was your K-1 interview and what happened at the interview, just so that we have a lot of people waiting for their fiance to have their interview, and any tips you have would be really helpful, Denise.
My husband now his interview was in Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah.
And it went pretty smooth. We had pretty much all of our paperwork together, and they didn't really ask a whole lot of questions, just about the children. If you have children from another marriage, previous marriage or relationship,
Yeah.
They asked about their birthdays. So they need to know their birthdays,
Right. Smart.
Pretty much about me, needed to know a lot of information about me, what he knew about me concerning our relationship.
Do you have a sense as to how long the interview was?
The interview actually didn't take that long. I think not even 20 minutes once it got going.
Great. And then what is the date that you got married?
We got married on the 8th of this month. I'm sorry, on the 6th of this month.
6th of August. Okay. So now you can and should file an I-45, which is the application for him to adjust his status.
Mm-hmm.
The I-765, which gets him a temporary work permit.
Mm-hmm.
The I-131, which is the travel document.
Okay.
And then the I-864, which is the affidavit of support, the I-864. So you're going to have to submit evidence that in each of the last 3 years, you've made 125% of the poverty guidelines. So if you're single, you're talking about $28,000 on your tax returns for the last 3 years. Did you make that much?
Yes. We had to file the I-134?
Correct.
So it had.
You don't need a co-sponsor. So you'll do the I-864. So then You'll send in the filing fee, which is $12.25.
Mm-hmm.
And you make that out to U.S. Department of Homeland Security. And then you could do the medical now, but I would do the medical later as you get closer to the interview. So eventually, if you sign up for electronic alerts, you'll get an email saying an interview is going to be scheduled. Once you get that email, then I would start calling the USCIS civil surgeons where you live and say, my husband's getting a green card. We need to do our medical, and then go in and do it. And then you'll bring it in a sealed envelope to your interview.
Okay, so do I have to file all these at once?
Yes.
Okay, so file them all up. It should be a paper. Just print them all out and just file them and send them in.
That's what we do. I mean, we type them on the computer, so they're
Right,
typed,
and
they're
then
typed and then signed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay, and then print them out and sign. Okay, and also because he came on a K-1, and then I was reading, we was up in the air about whether he could get a Social Security now or not. But
not until he gets that work card. If there's a box that he can check on the 765 which says, do you want us to also get you a Social Security number? And that's when you'll say yes, and then hopefully you might even get the Social Security card a day or two before the work card, but that's how you'll do that.
Okay. So I guess, and another question, his visa is good till September the 24th, but the I-994 expired on the 8th. Do we have a problem with
He's not going to leave the United States, right?
No.
Yeah,
No.
Then you're fine.
Oh, okay. Just as long as he don't leave. I mean, we've been on our honeymoon already, so
Yeah, good. And just get the applications on file quick so he's good to go. But yeah, you're fine as long as he doesn't leave the United States.
Okay. So another question. He has a daughter, and she was on the K-1, but at the time she wasn't old enough, according to their laws, for him to bring her with him. She has to be at least 5.
Okay.
She'll be 5 in February.
Yeah.
So do we need to file an I-130, or is she still able to come on the K-1?
That's a great question, but I think you're going to be much better off if you, Denise, file an I-130 for her, your stepdaughter.
Okay. So should we file this now? I know I've seen on the I-864 form, it asks questions about her and how many people I would be sponsoring.
Yep.
So should I should go ahead and put her on the I-864 and then file the I-30 along with all these other forms?
So the I-130 application shouldn't be included in this packet, right? So you want to send that in a different packet.
Okay.
In fact, what I would do is I would go ahead and apply for your husband. I would not list the daughter as
on
someone,
the I-864.
Right. I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
And then once you get the receipt notice back for the 485 for your husband, then I would file the I-130, and then later on, not now, but later on, you'll do an affidavit of support, and you'll have to list him and her on her affidavit of support. Does that make sense?
Okay. So let me just make sure I'm clear. Don't file her on the I-864. When the receipt comes back from the I-485, then file
for her.
Once the receipt comes back, and then you said later on, I have both of them on an affidavit of support. I'd have to fill out another affidavit of support.
For her. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I will put both of them on that as well.
Right.
Okay, I think that is it. So it's probably going to take about a couple of years a year or two before we can even get her going.
It'll take about a year and a half, yeah, for sure. So the fact that she's under 5 now, you can go ahead and apply now. That's a Nigerian rule, not an American rule, so you're good to go.
I know. Okay.
Right,
She'll be 5 in February, so okay.
Thanks, Denise. Good luck.
All right. Thank you, Jim. Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.
Have a good day.
All right. Let's say hi to JJ. What do you say, JJ?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Um,
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I have a couple questions about my case. So I have recently, a couple years back, filed a legal name change with with the California court, and I have my new name. So I have a new name on the travel document, refugee travel document, but I have an old name on the green card. So I filed an I-90 to correct for name correction, and it's still pending for like since 11/2020. And I was wondering if a writ of mandamus would help, if it's the unreasonable time is good,
Sure.
or
Sure.
would it?
Two
Yeah,
years for an I-90 is enough time. Yeah, you've waited long enough. Now, if you had asked me beforehand, I would have encouraged you not to change your name until you get your citizenship, because you've confused them now
right.
by changing your name in the middle of your immigration journey. So just for everybody watching, generally, I encourage people to either change, and obviously you got your green card not through marriage, but either change your name when you marry or change your name when you do a citizen. Don't do it in between, because it confuses them, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, I think you're at a year and 10 months. I think you've waited long enough. So yeah, you could do a mandamus on that. Sure.
Okay. Uh, and for the travel document,
Mhm.
mine will expire on November 7th,
Okay.
2022. Can I apply before it expires for a new one, or should I wait
Yeah,
until?
I think you can apply in a couple months beforehand. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
I mean, just check the instructions. It'll say how much lead time you need.
Okay. Do you think the writ of mandamus would be like a good case, or if like for a name change, even if the green card is still valid, or would they say like it's not really important? And
No, 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 no. I mean, a writ of mandamus is designed to force an agency to decide a matter that's legitimately in front of it. Your matter is legitimately in front of it. They've taken a long time. They're not going to want to mess around with court or anything just to give you an updated green card. So I think the lawsuit would work fine.
okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks, JJ. See you, buddy.
Bye.
All right, that was JJ. Let's say hi to Jeremy. What's up, Jeremy?
Hello, how's it today?
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I have one question. If I'm doing expedite request, because my wife and my son has become documentary qualified for about a month now, and I
Yeah.
want to do it on a medical basis. Do I add both of them on the same expedite letter, or I got to do it separately?
Yeah, I would include them both for sure. Are you a green card holder or a U.S. citizen?
Citizen.
So it's two different cases.
I think they're connected because they I think they move together as soon as he becomes qualified, hers come qualified, or
Okay.
the oh,
Yeah, so I would include both in the request. Yep.
okay. All right. That's my question.
Bye, Jeremy. See you, buddy.
All right.
All right, let's say hey, hi to Alejandra. Hi, Alejandra.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
So, can I start with a timeline of my
Of,
case?
of
Okay.
course.
I filed all my adjust of status on October 2019.
Okay.
So I got my biometrics and everything. So on March 2020, I got my first interview. That one was really quick, like 30 minutes.
Is this
Um,
based on marriage?
yes, adjust of status.
Got it.
On yeah, marriage. So on September 2020, I got my second interview. They was like kind of hard one because they split us up.
Where?
In Denver, Colorado.
And at the time that you got married, were you in status or were you out of status?
Um, I guess I was out. I entered here by B1 visa, tourist visa.
What year?
On 2018 December.
Okay. So you'd overstayed.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. All right. So they separated you at the Denver field office. By the way, everybody, Denver sounds like a nice place, but the Denver field office in Centennial, Colorado is not a nice place. But Go ahead, Alejandro. So they split you up. How long's the interview? How did it go? Did you have an attorney?
Yes, yes, of course. I
And did,
file all.
did the attorney say you guys matched most of your answers or didn't match most of your answers?
Um,
What did they say?
she didn't wasn't in the split interview because she gonna charge us a lot of money about it. So
So
she just,
so it was just you and your spouse.
yes,
Got it. Okay.
yes.
All right.
So
How long was it, Alejandro?
for like hour and a half, they take more time with me. My husband was just like 20 minutes.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
He's a citizen also, by the way.
Well,
Uh,
when you and your husband matched and talked about it afterwards, did you feel like most of your answers matched?
yes,
Okay. Great.
yes.
Okay.
So after that, everything goes kind of little messing up because on December 2020, I got involved in a criminal case. It was a theft felony number 6. So we start court and everything. So on June 2020, immigration went to my house, but we didn't were there because we were out for a vacation. So when we get home again, our roommate get immigration. So
Who's
they
the
just
roommate?
it was a friend. I mean, not a friend, just a guy that we need to rent the house because up here in the mountains is very expensive. So that's why we get that roommate. So they just left a business card.
So just to be clear, USCIS sent officers to your house.
Yes,
When they showed up, you guys weren't there and some other guy was there.
yes, it was a lady.
A lady.
So
The roommate's a lady or a man?
a lady.
Okay.
Yes. So on that time, so they left a business card and they say it was about my I-485.
Yeah.
So we called them and they say that maybe we're gonna call us back maybe in a month or something. So after that they call me. I don't know why they didn't call my husband. So they were looking for him. I'm sorry. And so I say that he was out working and they
Wait,
say
what time of day was it?
sorry,
What time of day did they call?
like a month
No,
after they
no.
show up.
Was it early in the morning? Was it late at night?
Yes, it was early in the morning,
Like
like 10 a.m. I was at work.
you were at work and where was your husband?
My husband was working too,
Okay.
but he's a DJ, so he has traveled a lot. So I call him right away and say, "Hey, immigration call, so please keep an eye on your phone because maybe they gonna call you." So they never call him. So after that, we didn't know anything about it. So on August 2020, we received a request for evidence about the criminal case.
Yeah.
So, but we sent all the evidence that we had at the moment because the judge didn't give any sentence yet.
The case was still pending.
Yes.
Got it.
So we sent like the police report and everything.
Okay.
So on September 2020, about talking with my immigration lawyer and everything, I plead guilty, but in a different, like,
A crime that doesn't make you deportable
different criminal.
or inadmissible.
Yes. So
Right.
they give me 2 years of probation and defer and restitution.
Was it a misdemeanor?
Um, I'm not sure, but I guess they're gonna discharge everything.
But your immigration lawyer signed off on the deal that you pled guilty to.
Yes, he checked on it, so that way will be like everything will be kind of okay in my immigration. Doesn't
Okay.
gonna affect me so much.
Okay.
So on
So
December,
so so when you at the time that you pled guilty, your green card case was still pending.
yes,
You had responded to the RFE, but you hadn't received a
yes,
decision. Okay.
right.
All right.
So on December of 2021, they sent another request for evidence about what's going on with my criminal case.
Yeah.
So at that time, I already have an agreement with
It
the
was all
judge.
done. Yeah.
Yes, it was everything done. So we sent like kind of certified copies
Yep.
of the stuff. But on March 2022 of this year, I received a note saying that we didn't send all the certified copies that they are requesting.
Hmm.
So we explained why we couldn't get it because I went to the court so many times, but they couldn't give us all the paper. They just say, it's everything that I have. I have all the judge say to you, but I couldn't get any more papers. So we sent a response of the note, but on June, 2 months ago, I received a denied of my 485, but also I received my I-130 approved.
So they said your marriage is valid, but we're not going to let you adjust because you didn't give us the copies of what we
Yes,
asked
all
for.
the certified copies that they request for. So right now, where we at? So
What specifically did they want out of the file that you weren't able to give them?
so I couldn't get the certified arrest report because we didn't have anyone. Is what the court say. So and also explain them, my lawyer too explained them that she tried to get those certified copies, but the court didn't give it to us. So yes, this is kind of a hard one. So right now, we appeal to the decision. We
You
send it
need
like
a
maybe.
motion to reconsider.
Yes, that's
Yep.
right. So like 10 days ago. So my questions, after all, sorry,
Yeah. No, you're fine. It was interesting. I'm sure everyone watching will find it interesting for sure.
yes. So after all, so my first question will be, what expectations I can get about this case. So I don't know how long gonna take they response my appeal. And
So that could be 6 to 12 months or more.
okay.
And the problem is you don't have any proof of status. Has anybody talked about filing a new I-45?
For now, no. She said that the my lawyer say that it's good to appeal because we already explained them.
Yeah, but the problem is you don't get a work and travel card. You got no proof of status or anything while you're waiting.
Yes, that's right. So what that one will be my second question. Right now, my work permit will expire on October because I'm down of the 6 months extension.
Yeah.
So the decision also say that I'm still eligible because I'm married with a U.S. citizen, but I didn't send all the certified copies that they are asking for.
So let me ask you this question. Did your lawyer help you try to get the certified criminal records, or did you try to do that on your own?
No, she tried to, and she also attached to the appeal all the emails that she sent to the court, proving that she tried everything.
I mean, it is bizarre to me, Alejandra, that a court proceeding that ended last year. I mean, I could understand if they don't have records from 20 years ago. I don't know why they can't give you everything from the court.
Yeah, but right now it's because with the appeal, we also in this time we could get everything that they are asking for. So that's why we send the appeal because we
Wait,
could
now
get.
you have everything?
Yes.
Okay. So okay. So then why was it available now but not earlier?
I don't know, they didn't want to give it to us. I also showed them the immigration letters saying,
Yeah.
please, I need these for my case, and they say, no,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so just to be clear, they send a notice of intent to deny saying we need actually they sent a request for evidence and they said we need X, Y, and Z. And you said I can get you X, but I can't get you Y and Z. And they said and then you sent that in, and then they send you a notice of intent to deny, and your lawyer tried to get it from the court. And then the lawyer said, these are all the efforts I made to get Y and Z, and the court won't give me Y and Z. And so then they denied the case. And then you filed a motion to reopen. And in the meantime, you were able to get Y and Z. And now USCIS has everything that they need.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a good motion to reopen. The only problem is you're sort of in limbo for a while. I think you should win the motion to reopen, except for the fact that USCIS are a bunch of assholes. So, if it were a fair person, you would get approved, right? And yeah. So interestingly, USCIS has never actually asked you to demonstrate that your conviction doesn't make you inadmissible, right? Like they haven't even gotten to that point because see, to me they're playing games because here's what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to say, okay, well, we'll reopen and we'll consider the new evidence that you gave us. And oh, by the way, are you inadmissible because of your conviction? That's what I think is coming next. So I don't think just because they reverse their decision that they're going to then therefore give you a green card. I think they're going to throw one more hurdle at you, which is prove to us that you're eligible for a green card and not deportable because of the theft.
Okay. All right. Um. So, but it's good to just waiting for the appeal, or you think that maybe I have to file another case?
So I would be I generally don't like to file motions to reopen. I don't like them. They take too long. I have no control over them. I don't get another interview. They take forever, and it's sort of very squishy and subjective. I know that if I file a new 45 for you, I now have all the evidence that they want. I know
Yeah.
I have that. And I know that I'm going to get you a work card in 4 or 5 months. And I know that your work card that you have right now is going to run out in 6 weeks. So to me, I would, if you're willing to spend the 1225, I would do both, right? Because then you're sort of, there's an expression in English called you're wearing a belt and suspenders to hold up your pants. So it's sort of like double protection. So I would, if you need to work and you need your work authorization to work, then I would file.
All right. All right. So is anything that I can do for my actual work permit? No.
Only if you file it. That work permit that you have is technically over anyway, not just in October. It's technically over because the underlying green card case has been denied.
All right. All right, Jim. I guess.
All right, Alejandra, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, see ya. That was quite a story. Quite a story from Alejandra. I hope you guys found it interesting. I found it interesting. Let's see if John has something interesting to say. Hi, John.
Hey, Jim. How are you? Thanks.
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. So yesterday I went for my interview for my citizenship.
Oh, how'd it go?
Not good.
Not good?
Not good. So I
Shit. Which field office?
Boston. I'm out of Boston.
And what happened?
So just to give you a little background on my story.
Sure.
I got my green card through my dad. He passed away. And so in the past, I've had 3 arrests. Same lady. I was in a relationship, toxic one. 2 were dismissed. One I pleaded out.
So she kept calling the cops on you.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Okay.
that's part of the past. I moved on. But
how long ago was the one that you actually pled to?
5 years.
And what did you plead to?
A and B on a family member.
Did you get a probation or anything?
Yes. So 2 years suspended sentence. I was able to finish early, no violations.
So when did you finish probation?
2019, April of 2019.
And when did you file for citizenship?
So I filed originally in 2020. I had no idea about
the 5 year look back.
Yeah, and then I filed again January of this year. So 6 days after the 5 year mark of the incident.
Yeah, but it's from the conviction and the sentence and everything. It's 5 years from then.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So tell me but apparently that's not what the issue was yesterday?
Well, he got hung up on that. He said, I didn't prove good moral character. He mentioned that it seemed to be a pattern, even though the first incident was in 2014, then 2015, and then the last one that I pleaded out was January of 2017. Other than that, I don't have any other issues whatsoever.
Okay.
I haven't left the country in 10 years.
Did they ask you to go get all the records from those 3 cases?
Yes, and I have them. And I showed them.
And the first 2 were dismissed, right?
First 2 were dismissed. The last one was the one that I pleaded out.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't know how someone can say a pattern when 2 were dismissed.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he said.
Okay.
And I'm also a Canadian citizen.
Yeah.
I did show my passport and said that my mom lives in Canada. And I'm
well, that's probably it. He probably hates Canadians.
Probably. So at the end of the interview, he said, you passed all your exams. He did give me this form here, which I have in front of me. And it talks about the N14 request for additional information docs.
Yeah. Did he tell you what they're going to ask for?
he did not tell me what he was going to ask for, but he did hint at me that I did not have what he called a CIMT. So he was going to try to prove that I did not have good moral character. And so I have a few questions for you. I'm obviously concerned.
Yeah.
The first one is, if worse comes to worse, could I be deported, and could they come for me to my house? Or
Well, I'd have to look at the arrest record, the criminal record, and all that stuff, because DV can lead to removability. Have you left the United States since you pled guilty to that charge?
no, because I knew that coming back in would be a hassle, and if not a huge risk. I have a state work.
It could also trigger deportation proceedings. So, has any immigration lawyer ever analyzed the immigration consequences of the crime for which you pled guilty?
No, I have not consulted one.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So my question is, if worse came to worse, and I were to go to deportation proceedings, is there a process in which they send me a letter and then I have to appear before a judge? Or could they come and knock on my door and unexpectedly and say, "Hey, let's go"?
Both of those are possible. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, if it would only, I mean, them coming to knock on your door would probably only happen if you're an aggravated felon, and I don't know if you're an aggravated felon.
The case.
Well, but aggravated felon is a term of art in deportation. It means there's certain crimes that are classified as aggravated felons for purposes of deportation, especially for LPRs, for green card holders. I don't think that you're one of those, but domestic violence can cause that finding. So I'm glad you haven't left the United States. You shouldn't leave the United States until you have an immigration lawyer analyze the consequences of your plea. And I think there's a really good argument, John, for you to withdraw the N-400 like today. I'm not saying to do that. But what I would envision would be helpful would be to hire a lawyer to analyze the crime that you pled guilty to. And my gut tells me they're going to say you're not deportable, but you should withdraw the N-400 because it's going to be denied because you don't have 5 years of GMC. I think that's what would happen. But you want that memo, you want that analysis because you want to know if you can travel, because LPRs can get in big trouble if they have a conviction and then they enter and leave and enter the United States. When they get allowed back in, they can be treated as an arriving alien and they sort of lose those green card protections. So I think, I mean, did you have a criminal defense lawyer when you pled guilty, or did you do it without a lawyer?
No, I did have a lawyer.
You did?
Yes. And
did the lawyer know that you were a non-citizen?
Yes, but they weren't an immigration lawyer, unfortunately. So
do you remember when you pled guilty? Did the judge like read over all these things to you, like, you're giving up the right to trial, blah blah blah?
Yes, and I remember him saying that this could affect your
immigration status. Yeah,
he did mention that.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit worried, John. Not overly worried. I'm a little bit worried. I think there's a small chance, but a chance that what you pled guilty to set you up for certainly an N-400 denial, but more importantly, might have set you up for some kind of removal stuff.
Okay. So, and that triggers my next question. So let's say I have a life established here. I work for the state of Massachusetts, and again, I got a dog, I got a life here. So if I were to decide to, withdraw my N-400 and just move back to Canada, would that be a possibility for me to enter in the future as a tourist with my Canadian passport?
That seems a little drastic. I mean, is it just because of what happened yesterday, or do you have like other reasons why you're thinking?
Well, I mean, my biggest fear is that they show up unannounced and like I said, I have a dog. I don't have a wife, so I'm not.
Yeah. So, our office, we don't really like to do these memos anymore, right? Like, because if I say to you, John, I've done all the research and I'm 95% sure you're not going to get deported and it's safe for you to go back home to visit Canada and come back, then I'm sort of buying future problems down the road.
Right.
Not to say we wouldn't do it, but I generally don't like doing it, right? But I think that if it were me, and I have, like you said, so much invested in living in Massachusetts and in the United States, before I took that drastic measure of leaving wholesale, I would hire somebody to analyze it and tell me exactly what my rights are, which is what you should have done when you pled guilty. That all should have happened. And I tell people all the time, if you are an immigrant and you get charged with a crime, call the immigration lawyer before you call the criminal defense lawyer, because it's a totally different ballgame. So that being said, do I think that someone who has a crime, which may or may not have rendered them deportable, and who gives back their green card and moves back to Canada, do I think they're going to be allowed to revisit the United States? I think they're going to have a really hard time going through customs. Do I think it's impossible? No. But I think their immigration records are going to be all jacked up. And I think that it's just one CBP official not letting you in is a certain possibility.
Okay. So it's up to discretion of
always up to the discretion. Yeah, for sure.
And I think I have one more question.
Sure.
So if I currently have, because my green card tenure expired in between the process of my N400. So
yeah.
My passport stamped with the I-551.
Yep.
And that expires on May of 2023. So is that is that my legal status until that date?
Yeah, you're a lawful permanent resident until someone takes it away from you. So, and that would be a judge. So you're a long way from having to give that up. Now, if it were me, I mean, again, we're just talking hypothetically here. I think I would probably withdraw the N400 and file an I-90 to get my new green card.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, don't forget, leaving the United States can be a triggering event for bad stuff.
Right. And that's the other thing. Like, I want to visit. I haven't been to Canada in 10 years. No Thanksgiving.
Right. I'm sure. Yeah.
No, because of this. So
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, John. Good luck, buddy.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jim.
See you, man. Yep, for sure. We've had some long calls today, but they've all been good calls, I think. I feel like we're covering lots of issues in each of these calls, so I'm glad to have these conversations with people. Always happy to do things a little bit faster, but people have good questions, and I'm happy to answer them. All right. I think that Idenede is back.
Yes, I am.
How are you?
I'm very good. And yourself?
Great. What can I help you with?
My case is kind of a little complicated. I got my green card through U visa.
Okay.
Me and my kids have both. They are in my case, so they got green card too. Right now, when I got my green card 2019, I don't. They say to me the word was the limit to travel, right? So I went to Brazil. I stayed there for 27 days. I'm come back. Then my lawyer called me back and say to me that I have to deal with an old order of deportation that I have to deal with. It should say, "Oh, I don't advise you to leave the country because they probably cannot let you in again."
This is before you left or after you came back?
After I come back.
So just okay. So you get the U visa green card in 2019, right?
Yes.
And then when did you go to Brazil?
I went to Brazil. I got my green card in November, so I went to Brazil in December.
Okay, and then you made it back through customs, no problem.
Yeah, that yes, was fine. You just check my information and let me in.
So you had a Brazilian passport and
green card.
Got it. Okay. All right.
So right now my father's sick. I'm afraid to travel because
Wait, hold on. So let's talk about the deportation order. How did that happen?
That happens because I entered in the country illegal on 2004 across the border.
Yeah. And so did USCIS give you the green card, or did you get the green card from court?
The UCIS gave me the green card.
Okay. Did USCIS know about your deportation?
Yes, because when they gave my kids the green card a few months later, they gave a letter saying that I still have the deportation order that I have to reopen and terminate.
Yeah, that sounds right. But they told you that after you guys all got the green cards?
Yes, actually, I got my green card first, and my kids got the green card later. So when my kids got the green card, one day send a letter that
That's
I still have
bizarre.
this old deportation order that I need to reopen and terminate.
And have you done that yet?
Yes, I did it. Uh, my lawyer's from Sanctuary Family. I don't know if you're familiar with for violent, domestic violence. So she was, she'd send I motion to joy. I think it was like that.
Joint motion to
Last
reopen.
year, yeah,
Joint motion
last
to
year.
reopen.
Yes, to ICE to enjoy the case, right?
Yeah, right.
So they don't respond. This is more than was October last year. So she said they don't answer me back. So I'm gonna send the motion to reopen to the judge where your case is.
Right.
So they received I can check they received the order to reopen, but they say no decision in this case yet.
Yeah. And now your dad's sick and you want to leave?
My dad is sick. I'm dying to go see my father. I've been trapped here, like even after everything's solved.
I think it'd be very risky for you to go.
Exactly. Yeah. That's I want to hear. I want to ask you if I go.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say my dad died last December, so I know how hard it is.
Yeah.
But I think you'd be putting your green card at risk without getting rid of that termination order.
Yeah, that's what my lawyer said. They probably can take the green card away from me or whatever.
Yeah.
So my question for you: how long the court can answer on my case? What do you think?
It could take forever.
I know they can sit in my case forever, right? Because my case is 19 years old. Like it's from 2004. They probably even don't pay attention to that because I'm here,
Right.
I'm working.
Which court is your deportation case at?
San Antonio, Texas.
I know that your attorney sent the ICE counsel a request to join in the motion to terminate, but
Yeah.
have they? Is your deportation lawyer? Is somebody typing? Do you hear typing? I hear typing. I don't know how that's even happening. That's really weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, is the lawyer who filed the motion to reopen? Are they located in San Antonio?
No, they're from New York. I am from New York, Queens.
Okay, so
he's a pro bono lawyer. The lawyer worked for Family Sanctuary.
Right.
For violence, domestic violence.
I think what I might do if I were you is try to hire try to find a deportation lawyer in San Antonio and say, hey, I need your help.
Yeah.
I've got this motion to terminate that we tried to file jointly and we can't get a decision on it. Would you be willing to talk to ICE attorney and see if they'll join in the motion now that it's on file?
I would do that, but my lawyer said to me, you just have one chance to you open your case, right? One try, right?
Yeah. But your attorney in Queens doesn't know anybody in San Antonio. There are deportation lawyers in San Antonio who sit across the table every day, and they almost become like friends sometimes. So, you need someone to go sideways, not direct, right? Like you need someone to say, "Hey, I got this lady. Her name's Idenede. Her dad's dying. She's got her green card. She just needs to get this thing terminated so that she can leave and go see him."
Okay.
Because they're not going to listen. They get these requests all the time, so they're not going to listen to some pro bono lawyer from the Queens.
Yeah.
From Queens work, trying to help with this. It's
But
just
if
not
I
gonna.
put another lawyer to work in the case, you don't think it's gonna make worse?
How can it make it worse? Nothing's happening. It's just sitting
There's
there.
nothing happened, and yeah, I'm tight.
Yeah, I would do a little bit of research,
Mm-hmm.
find out who everybody thinks is the best deportation attorney in San Antonio, and then hire them for this very limited thing, trying to get them to help you with this.
Yes. All right. Yeah. You think it's a good idea?
I think it's your only shot.
It's a one shot, right? They probably gonna sit in my case forever, and I'm gonna be here.
Right.
And I have my green card for 10 years. But if they
Now,
see that,
the one thing I'm worried about is that the timing of everything is sort of weird. Usually, you terminate proceedings so that USCIS can give you the green card. Here, you got the green card before, so I'm worried about your green card.
Yeah, my case is weird because they give me the green card before terminate my because they did a FOIA at the time. They could not find this deportation on the FOIA.
Sounds like a mess. Sounds like a real mess.
So right now I have to find somebody that speak with direct to them, but it's so hard to get to them. Like I don't know how to get to them to pay attention on my case.
So I would just get on Google and say best deportation lawyer San Antonio,
Right.
and then see who has the most reviews.
And you think it's a risk for me to go to see my father, right?
I do. I think your green card's on very shaky ground. Besides the deportation, if USCIS didn't have jurisdiction to give you the green card, they could say that it wasn't properly given to you. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, more about that too. So I'm gonna do that. Thank you very much for your help.
Good luck. God bless to your dad.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Oh man, today's the day. Today is the day. We're hearing from everybody. It's a pretty frustrating situation for lots of immigrants. There's just a lot going on. We feel sad for Idinades. I hope I'm saying it right. I'm sure I'm butchering it. Her dad. Let's see what William has to say. Hi, William.
Hi, Jim. So my question for my case is like where we're at now. Like she got here on the visa. So
what kind of visa?
A K-1 fiance visa.
Awesome.
She came here last July, and we got married in August of last year.
Yep.
And we had submitted all the stuff. I think it's the I-485, the travel visa,
the 131. Yep.
Yeah, we did the travel, we did the work permit thing. We did all that together. We submitted that I think in the same month of August. But then we got I forgot one page in it, so then we got like a thing where it came back and asked for more information. So then we resubmitted it, and I think we resubmitted like September, October timeframes when they said they received it on the USCIS website.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we've been waiting since then, and nothing's happened. So it's been almost a year. We haven't got the work thing is supposed to have been approved like 4 to 6 months, but we haven't got that either. So
which form were you missing the page on?
The affidavit. It was my fault. I found it. It was sitting there, and I was like, okay, I didn't submit the full thing, so we just resubmitted it, and nothing.
So let's back up. So you applied in August of 2021.
Yes.
And then you got receipted in September.
Yeah.
And then when did she do fingerprints, or did they waive them?
She did fingerprints. Yes.
When did she do fingerprints?
September.
Okay. And then no work card or anything?
No.
When did you get the RFE?
Was it like
it was at the end of September.
Yeah, the end of September.
The RFE came that fast?
Yeah.
That was pretty fast. So that I remember it. We were surprised too, and I was like, oh, okay, things are gonna go great now. And then
then you replied in October?
Yes.
And is there any question as to whether or not you need a co-sponsor?
No, because that has to do with like your finances, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Okay. And so Nothing has happened since October of 21.
No. Like just dead silence. She checks daily on the website, and I ask her, she's like, no status has changed. So we've been waiting for emails, phone calls, anything.
It just says that they received it.
Yeah.
They're actively reviewing it.
It says that they received it and they're actively reviewing it. So it's.
I might have asked you this, but what field office will she have her interview at?
It was the interview before she got the visa.
No. Like, what's your big city? What big city do you live by?
Oh, we live in Maryland, like southern Maryland.
So Baltimore.
Yeah. I did take her up to DC. I remember that. Yeah, for
Baltimore.
Yeah.
To do the fingerprints.
Yeah, I took her to DC to do the fingerprints.
Baltimore is not particularly busy. Have you called the 1-800 number?
We submitted.
No, I didn't call a number, but she did submit for like
service request.
Yeah, like a service request thing or something like that a little while ago, but no response on that. We're trying to be patient, but like,
so you're at 11 months, but then we take away a month for the RFE, so you're at 10 months. So I would say if you don't hear anything by the end of October, call me back, and then we'll probably sue him.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're just waiting.
Sounds good. So wait, so should I or should I not call that 1-800?
Yeah, I'd call him and say what's going on. Something might have gotten off track with the RFE.
Okay. Well, where do I get that from?
I don't know the number. Just look up 1-800 USCIS 1-800 number and
their number. Okay. I thought
yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
Oh wait, real quick.
Yeah.
She just asked, would it be a good idea to get a lawyer at this point, or no?
Nah, nothing anybody can do. Not until we sue him.
Right. I figured. Okay.
Bye, buddy.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
See you, William. Bye. See ya. All right. I always like it when there's the side character talking over here, and it's funny because, no offense, William, but usually they know more about the case than anybody. So it's always funny that when that happens. All right. Let's say hi to Adi. Hi, Adi.
Can you hear me?
I got you.
Hey, how's it going, Jim?
Good. How you doing?
All good. So I have a couple of questions. So what happened is I filed adjustment of status, and
is it based on marriage to the person whose photo is there on screen?
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't realize that, but yeah, that is my wife.
That's good marital evidence,
right?
You can take a screenshot of you talking to me with your wife on the back. Okay, go ahead. You filed for adjustment, yeah?
Yeah. So I came here on F1 visa, and I filed for adjustment of status after 6 years. I couldn't complete my degree because in COVID, I didn't have the tuition fees to pay because I'm an international student, but they still gave me my OPT because it was my last semester and I already applied for OPT, and they just gave me the card, but the first time it didn't come, and it said it's lost in mail, so I have to apply it again. And after
hold on.
Yeah.
When were you supposed to graduate?
So I was supposed to graduate in December.
And when did you apply for OPT?
I think November or something.
And then you just did you?
I actually, yeah. So I had to. I honestly failed the class, just one class, which made me not get the degree. And
but OPT, the EAD came anyway.
EAD came anyway, but after 8 months.
Okay.
Because I had to reapply for it, and they lost it in the mail.
Okay.
Yeah. So my question is, so I was in status because of the EAD, and then when I applied for my
adjustment, wait a minute, hold on. You just made a huge jump there.
Yeah.
You said I'm in status because of the EAD. That's not the way I'm framing this. The way I'm framing it, or the way they're probably framing it, is you got that EAD without graduating. You shouldn't have gotten it, and you were out of status as soon as you stopped going to school.
Oh.
That EAD didn't give you status. This is all going to be okay. I'm not freaking you out.
Yeah.
Because you're married, your spouse is a U.S. citizen?
Yes. My spouse is a U.S. citizen. Yeah.
So here's my question: did you use the EAD to work?
I couldn't. I already got like a job, but they wanted me to fill the I-9. So I got hired at Tesla, but they wanted me to fill the I-9, and I never had two IDs altogether. I just had my driver's license and didn't accept the foreign passport.
Oh.
So yeah, so I couldn't. And once I got it, and I applied again, and they told me you just have like 3 months left on it, so we can't hire you.
That's too bad. So then what happened?
Yeah, after that I applied for my. So I got married in 2021 in July.
Yeah.
And I was trying to find a joint sponsor because my wife's income was a little less.
Because she's a college student.
She was a college student, yeah. So
yeah, sure.
And after that, but eventually, like I told her, and she started working really hard. And in 2022, when we filed our taxes, our income was a little above the poverty guidelines.
You still need a co-sponsor.
Even if our income was a little above?
3 years of strong earning history and a little bit above 1 year is not 3 years strong.
Oh, so we didn't get a joint sponsor and we just applied it. But now our income has, so I still haven't heard anything from them. Also what
haven't heard anything is a broad statement. Did you get receipt notices?
Yes, I did my biometrics. So
Okay.
I live in Oakland.
When did you get fingerprinted?
So I applied, I think April 26th.
Okay.
Yeah, and after that, so also what happened is like in April, USCIS changed their poverty guidelines, but I already.
Okay, so why are you okay?
Yeah.
A couple of things. Did you file this case without an attorney?
No, with an attorney.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good. And so, did the attorney not tell you needed a co-sponsor?
She told me that, but I tried everything. So
why? Why are you so reluctant to find a co-sponsor?
I tried. My uncle told me he's gonna do it for 5 months. He was like, "I'm gonna do it for you," and then the 6th month he's like, "Oh, this is too much of a liability. I can't do it. I don't have anyone here which can sponsor me because my wife's mom's income was less too. So I really didn't have anyone who can actually sponsor me.
No friends or anything?
I had friends, but they were saying the same thing. Like they researched about it and they're like, there's a 10-year liability, and no one was like,
well, 10 years or until you become a citizen.
Yeah, I told them the same thing, but they're like, I didn't have any luck in that.
Okay, so what's the question?
Yeah, so when I filed adjustment of status, but by the way, my wife's income has increased like 3 times from that time.
That's good.
Yeah. So is that going to make a determining factor, or is still a problem?
I think you still need a co-sponsor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So when I filed, so my first question is like, I filed adjustment of status. They changed the poverty guidelines, so our income was actually, it became $200 less instead of but you're telling me like I need a sponsor regardless.
Yeah,
so
you can't cut it that close. It's not that fine of a thing.
All right, so maybe my case is going to get delayed, or I still need to find a sponsor right now.
I think your case is delayed.
Oh,
did they send you a request for evidence?
No, nothing yet. It's just like it's actively being reviewed. That's what they said.
So you don't know that there's a problem with the affidavit of support right now. You just know that what you submitted may itself be a problem, but they haven't told you that yet.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, so I would keep working on trying to find a co-sponsor because that's going to be the whole shooting match.
Yeah, so can I still find a co-sponsor, and so will I have to reapply, or I have to add a document?
You'll probably get a request for evidence on it.
Right.
Yeah.
But so even if my wife's income is like 3 times, so it's like $60K now. It was 24K.
3 times 1 year, but you need 3 years. That's why they ask for 3 years.
Right, but so first year, 2020, it was like $20,000. Second year was 24 something, and third year is $60,000. So
so the last 2 didn't qualify.
Right. But also, I sent my joint account
Doesn't matter.
document.
You could have $1 million in the bank. It doesn't matter about your joint account.
All right. And so yeah, so third thing I want to ask is like, so there's a if you go on the USCIS, my USCIS website, they have this thing called unsolicited evidence, where you can upload the documents and stuff. So even if I try to upload the income documents there, is it still going to make my case like slower, or it doesn't matter with that unsolicited evidence stuff?
It's not going to make it slower, no.
All right. So it's advisable to just put some unsolicited evidence or whatever we gathered throughout our years.
Well, I would keep most stuff till I would stop uploading stuff, because eventually you're going to have an interview. Just bring updated evidence to the interview, but no reason to submit stuff they haven't asked for.
Right. So if they don't give me an RFE and they straight away give me the interview, which will give us another room for the last 3 years. So
if they don't do financial stuff at the interview, that's all decided at the service center before it gets to the interview. They don't talk about affidavit support stuff in most cases.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So that was pretty much it, Jim. Thank you so much.
Good luck, Adi. See you, buddy.
All right.
All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. I don't know what to say about that. That was an interesting show. Lots of good questions. I hope you all have a great weekend. I may do a show on Friday. If you want to know if I'm doing a show on Friday, you need to sign up for our texting, which you can do by texting the word show to 314-470-3300. I'll probably do one on Friday, but I don't know for sure. So get on the list, 314-470-3300, or stay tuned to our YouTube channel and our Facebook Live.